Most of the late-night hosts dealing with the fact that Donald Trump won the election. Dean Cain is here.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm bragging.
I noticed.
Yeah,
Dean, now that Donald Trump's won, all you folks in Hollywood, are you having a lot of your friends moving the for sale sticker banners in their yard?
They're all gone. I can't believe how many went to Canada and Mexico and Europe. And no, nobody's left. Isn't it amazing? Hollywood said, so many people said they're going to leave and nobody left. We're not people of our word. I'm shocked. Hypocrisy in Hollywood? Never, never.
Gosh.
What's really funny to me is, we had that whole, get out the vote thing, and it was great. Back in the day, it was like MTV, get out the vote, and everybody said, hey, it's really important, it's your civic duty, get out there and vote. They didn't tell you which candidate to support, and that's what happened this time. They kept supporting, not even so much supporting one candidate, they were going after another one and just cutting them down and ripping on them and telling everybody this is what you should do. And I think there was a huge backlash.
The message from to the East Coast and West Coast is the middle of the country matters.
Yeah, that whole Rust Belt matters a lot. I mean, it always has. And it's shocking to me, and it's rather pompous of us in Hollywood to sit there and say, look, we know more than you and do this. It's one thing to say, get out there and get informed and vote, but it's another thing to say, this is who you should vote.
So Hollywood has always been famously and hyperactively liberal and gone after Republicans or conservatives, but it's got to be another level if you're a Donald Trump supporter. It's one thing to be a Republican or conservative, it's another to be a deplorable. I mean, how has it gone to another level?
Well, there's the thing is, are we going to actually have a conversation and discuss what's going on, or are we going to just hurl insults? The same ones you always hear. You're racist, sexist, xenophobic, bigot. I mean, look up the word bigot out there. Look it up. Look up the word and see what that means. Because if you try to have a conversation with somebody who is so hell-bent on saying that this person isn't okay,
sure.
That's the absolute definition of bigotry.
Do you think it hurt her, Hillary Clinton, to have all these celebrities on stage with her?
Well, there might have been a backlash, when you have Miley Cyrus out there and doing what she does in her concert or something like, or Jay-Z up there on giving a performance and swearing and saying that stuff. Katy Perry doing her thing. I mean, look, I say it's great if you want to support a candidate, and I'm completely for that. But it's a double-edged sword sometimes.
Yeah, folks living in the flyover state, they're just trying to put food on the table, going to work. They can't relate to Beyonce.
Well, I can't relate to Beyonce.
No,
I'd love to have that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's great if they want to support a candidate, but, again, I say it's great you can support them, but don't just rip on another candidate.
Yeah.
Say why you support this candidate.
Compare the outrage for Trump to Bush and McCain and Romney.
It is quite surprising how angry people are. I mean, listen, I voted for McCain. I voted for Romney. How many? They aren't protesting, but who's protesting out there? I mean, I don't have the time to go protest for 5, 6, 7 days. I don't have that time. Whether or not they're getting paid is another question, and a big question. I think a lot of them are. How many of them actually went out and voted? How many people who were out there protesting went and voted? I voted. I let my voice be heard. I told people who I was supporting and why. I didn't go ripping on another.
You didn't actually. You're a resident in California. You didn't bring home the state for Donald Trump. He's going to be mad at you.
I will speak to Mr. Trump, Mr. President, and I'll have to call him, and hopefully he'll forgive me for not bringing it in California.
Dean, Janice is talking about it's going to snow soon, and we're talking about Christmas season. We know what that means. I flip over to the Hallmark Channel when I'm not watching Fox News, which is very rare, but only when you're on. Those movies that you do are incredible. You have a new one coming out, right?
Yeah, I have 374 Christmas movies. I have a brand new one coming out called Broadcasting Christmas. It comes out on the 23rd of November. It's really fun. I play one of you guys.
You're a newscaster.
Yeah, I know.
And with Melissa Joan Hart, who's amazing, and we used to be together, and then we're not. Now we're competing for a job, and maybe we'll end up back together. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those films. Ainsley, you have.
I have a lot, and Harris Faulkner too. We talked about that.
We might work it out.
Is it hard getting into the Christmas spirit when you're taping this thing in the summer?
That is difficult because you wear the big jackets and you're all scarved up and things. But we did this. This is the fastest turnaround of any film I've ever done. We finished this about a month ago, and it's coming out right now. So
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. We'll do it live.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Dean
November 23rd.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. Always
great to have you.
All right, Dean. One day we'll get to hear the City Council host with us.
I'll
Could be a
do it.
broadcaster.
I'll do
Yes.
it.
It's all about money. Let's see. Hey, let me tell you what's coming up straight ahead. The Democrats about to fire Nancy Pelosi.